Today, let's talk about Agile Team, identification and management. I recommend reviewing the following book, which explores team categorization in relation to ARCI models, leading teams, setting the stage for great performances. From my observations, managers often expect team members to be accountable, meaning they should deliver high-quality outcomes. However, an essential intermediate stage is frequently overlooked, doing it right. This stage represents responsibility, which bridges the gap between simply completing a task and achieving excellence. To clarify, the progression should be: do it, complete the task, do it right, responsibility, do it well, accountability. Without ensuring the right, we cannot truly reach the good. The ARCI model alone may not guarantee that tasks are done correctly. Its effectiveness depends significantly on how teams are categorized and structured. I believe it's important for us to align on these foundational concepts before discussing methodologies in depth. The Situation Domain Framework helps determine appropriate management policies based on different team attributes. Although the framework is derived from Essential Scrum, there's no need to delve into Scrum-specific content if you're unfamiliar with it. I'll be introducing globally recognized, state-of-the-art software engineering concepts progressively. The Authority Matrix is a framework developed by J. Richard Hackman to understand the levels of autonomy within teams. It helps leaders gradually delegate authority based on the team's maturity and capability, fostering self-management. Manager-led teams. The manager sets goals, assigns tasks, and oversees execution. Team members have minimal autonomy. Self-managing teams. The team manages its own work and outcomes, with higher responsibility and less supervision. Suitable for teams with some experience and capability. Self-designing teams. The team not only manages work but also designs its own processes and structure, and may even select its own members. Requires high maturity and trust. Self-governing teams. Can be regarded as a highly autonomous team. The team has full freedom to define goals and working methods. Common in innovative organizations or high-level decision-making groups. The ARCI model defines roles in decision-making and task execution. A. Accountable, the person ultimately answerable for the task. R. Responsible, the persons who actually do the work. C. Consulted, those whose input is sought, two-way communication. I. Informed, those who are kept updated, one-way communication. Manager-led teams. A. Manager. R. Team members. C. Experts or stakeholders. I. Team members, other departments. The manager holds authority and makes decisions. Team executes tasks. Team members do not proactively communicate with stakeholders and consultants, so managers typically handle this communication. Self-managing teams. A. Team leader or shared among team. R. Team members. C. Manager or external advisors. I. Organization leadership. The team manages its own work but still relies on external input for direction. Team members communicate with consultants but not proactively with stakeholders. Managers usually handle stakeholder communication. Self-designing teams. A. Team, collectively. R. Team members. C. External stakeholders. HR, leadership. I. Organization leadership. The team designs its own structure and processes, with broader consultative input. Consultants would join and work closely with the team. Team members proactively communicate with stakeholders. Each team member plays a crucial role by taking ownership of their assigned responsibilities and demonstrating accountability. Self-governing teams. A and R, team members. C, minimal, only when needed. I, organization leadership or external partners. Full autonomy, the team defines goals, roles, and execution with minimal oversight. Consultants and stakeholders join and work closely with the team. Team members demonstrate a high level of responsibility and accountability. Is Scrum suitable for each development situation?
Don't get me wrong, though Scrum is an excellent solution for many situations, it is not the proper solution in all circumstances. The Cynefin Framework, Snowden and Boone, 2007, is a sense-making framework that helps us understand the situation in which we have to operate and decide on a situation-appropriate approach. It defines and compares the characteristics of 5 different domains: simple, complicated, chaotic, complex, and a 5th domain, disorder, which occurs when you don't know which other domain you're in.
The Cynefin Framework is a decision-making model developed by Dave Snowden that helps leaders and organizations understand the nature of different situations and choose appropriate responses. It categorizes contexts into 5 domains. Simple. Assess situation facts, categorize them, base response on established practice. Domain of best practices. Stable domain, not likely to change. Clear cause and effect relationships are evident to everyone. A correct answer exists. Fact-based management. Complicated. Assess the situation, investigate several options, base response on good practice. Use experts to gain insight. Use metrics to gain control. Domain of good practices. Multiple right answers. Cause and effect are discoverable but not immediately apparent. More predictable than unpredictable. Complex. Explore to learn about problem, then inspect, and then adapt. Requires creative, innovative approaches. Create safe fail environment for experimentation to discover patterns. Increase levels of interaction communication. Domain of emergence. Will know in hindsight. More unpredictable than predictable. Chaotic. Act immediately, then inspect to see if situation has stabilized, then adapt to try to migrate context to complex domain. Many decisions to make, no time to think. Immediate action to re-establish order. Look for what works instead of right answers. Domain of the novel. No one knows. No clear cause and effect. Disorder. Characteristics, unclear which domain applies, confusion reigns. Approach, break down the situation into constituent parts and assign each to one of the other 4 domains. Chaotic domain, we don't know the situation, its cause, or resolution. We must respond to risk and stem the bleeding. Characteristics, no apparent order, urgent action needed. Approach, act, sense, respond. Best 4, crisis management, immediate stabilization. Complex domain, we know the situation but not its cause or resolution. We must clarify the situation and find a solution or workaround. Characteristics, no clear cause and effect, patterns emerge over time. Approach, probe, sense, respond. Best 4, innovation, adaptive challenges, experimentation. Complicated domain, we know the situation and its cause but not how to resolve it. Experts are needed. Characteristics, cause and effect exists but requires analysis or expertise to uncover. Approach, sense, analyze, respond. Best 4, technical problems, expert-driven solutions. Many of the tactical, quantitative approaches like Six Sigma are particularly well suited. Simple domain, we know the situation, its cause, and how to resolve it. SOP is needed. Characteristics, clear cause and effect relationships, well-known solutions. Approach, sense, categorize, respond. Best 4, routine operations, standard procedures. When facing an unclear situation, break it down into parts and assign each to one of the 4 domains. First, migrate context to the chaotic domain, respond to risks, and stop the damage. Next, migrate context to the complex domain, clarify the situation, and find a solution or workaround. Then, migrate context to the complicated domain, consult experts, assess the situation, and investigate options. Finally, migrate context to the simple domain, base responses on best practices, and establish standard operating procedures. The Cynefin Framework helps avoid one-size-fits-all thinking and encourages leaders to tailor their strategies based on the nature of the problem. It's widely used in agile development, organizational strategy, and complex systems analysis. Context-driven team assignment strategy. Match the right team type to the right situation. manager-led teams, simple domain. Reason, clear cause and effect relationships, standardized procedures, and centralized control align with the predictable and stable nature of the simple domain. ARCI, manager is accountable, team members execute predefined tasks. Management, SOP. Measurement, follow the SOP rules. Self-leading teams, complicated domain. Reason, these teams require expertise and analysis to solve problems, similar to the complicated domain where multiple right answers exist and expert input is valuable. ARCI, team shares accountability, consults experts and leadership for guidance. Management, OKR. Measurement, achieve the goal. Self-designing teams, complex domain. Reason, these teams experiment, adapt, and design their own processes, ideal for the complex domain where patterns emerge through interaction and learning. ARCI, team is accountable and responsible, consults broadly, informs stakeholders. Management, Agile. Measurement, solution or workaround, self-governing teams, chaotic domain. Reason, self-governing teams act quickly and independently, which is essential in chaotic situations where immediate action is needed to restore order. ARCI, team holds full authority, minimal consultation, informs only when necessary. Management, risk management. Measurement, align with business considerations. Disorder domain. Note, this domain represents confusion or lack of clarity. Any team type could fall into this domain temporarily if roles and decision-making structures are unclear. Why is an Agile team allowed to fail? OKRs and SOPs are solutions in themselves. Teams managed with OKRs and SOPs are simply adhering to the baseline of basic processes or methods. Agile, self-designing teams, and self-governing teams aim to seek the best solutions or workarounds. The capability and proactiveness of these two types of teams enable them to accomplish what other teams cannot. Analyze the causes of failure, identify countermeasures to avoid repeating the same mistakes, or help management understand why the current organizational direction is not feasible. Consolidate scenarios and countermeasures for both success and failure into organizational risk management. Agile suits complex domains and requires self-designing teams. When building an Agile team, members must have personalities fit for self-designing roles and clearly understand how to do it right in tasks. Agile team members must be proactive, not just positive, as each owns their responsibilities and demonstrates accountability. In OKR or KPI teams, supervisors ask members to report everything, contact as needed, and discuss issues. In Agile teams, members act proactively. Report and feedback. Reports include facts, overall considerations, and analysis to add value. Contact and remind. The team and supervisors remind each other to follow up on progress promptly, even for previously contacted matters. Discuss and share. After discussing countermeasures with the team and supervisors, members share experiences to help the entire team grow. Agile team members often take initiative, manage their own work, and learn independently to help improve efficiency. This approach reduces the need for traditional management, which can feel empowering but also challenging at times. Unlike teams that rely on OKRs or KPIs, Agile supervisors step in as collaborators or facilitators, joining the team as equals, focusing on offering support and providing resources, aiming to build trust and foster smooth teamwork. This way of working reflects a unique mindset and approach that values team autonomy and collective success. In short, Agile leaders must possess considerable breadth and magnanimity to make Agile work successfully. The ease or difficulty of Agile transformation depends on whether team members and supervisors are willing to change their mindset. All members of Agile teams are required to adhere to the Agile Code of Conduct, which underscores the importance of independent thinking and autonomous learning. The Agile Code of Conduct is available on our GitHub for consultation. Teams retain the discretion to implement alternative codes that align with their particular workflows. Gung ho! by Ken Blanchard and Sheldon Bowles tells the story of how a failing factory transforms by adopting 3 principles inspired by nature: the spirit of the squirrel, worthwhile work with clear goals, the way of the beaver, empowering workers with control, and the gift of the goose, celebrating success with enthusiastic praise. Through the mentorship of Native American Andy Longclaw, manager Peggy Sinclair implements these ideas, fostering a highly motivated, productive, and successful workplace by giving employees purpose, autonomy, and recognition. There is always a gap between ideals and reality, and the real issue often lies in the design of the performance system. Take the banquet cake project as an example. The company assigned both a Michelin-level team and a social welfare cooperative team to produce it. Both teams embodied the gung-ho spirit, clear goals, autonomy, and mutual positive encouragement, and both delivered on time. However, a clear-eyed manager would see that the 2 teams differ fundamentally in baseline capabilities, task complexity, and quality expectations. The Michelin team focuses on refinement, creativity, and detail. The social welfare cooperative team focuses on basic quality and process stability. If this company were a charity, then the cake quality from the social welfare cooperative team would be acceptable, and the Michelin team would even be willing to sponsor it for free. But what we are currently discussing is a for-profit business. The 2 are completely different perspectives. If the company continues to use a single evaluation method, such as only checking on-time delivery or meeting basic requirements, or even letting teams set and review their own standards, it will distort assessments. High-capability teams tend to set stricter standards, while foundational teams set looser goals. In the end, the value of high-quality teams is not fully reflected, and teams handling basic tasks may score higher simply because their standards are lower. When rewards are allocated based on such scores, the company will naturally fail to attract or retain high-capability talent, and the overall standard of the organization will gradually drift toward mediocrity. Thanks for watching, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.